Hey everyone, welcome to the Farm and Pastor's Wife. I'm so glad you're here. Just checking my mic. Hey, if you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. You're in my home, in my kitchen, down on the farm, and I'm thrilled to have you here. Hey, listen, if you haven't done so, I'd love for you to hit subscribe. You'll get a lot of cooking videos here, but you'll also get some grocery hauls, day in the life of farming, ministry, all kinds of stuff. So you name it, you get it right here. Some travel too. We travel places and do stuff. So I would just absolutely love for you to subscribe if you've not done so. Hey, and if you're back, welcome back. You guys know how much I love and appreciate you. We're getting ready for a huge, exciting weekend. It is not only Father's Day here on Sunday, it is also Caroline, my daughter. It is her 31st birthday. So we're celebrating both Bryant and Caroline on the same day. And this is the cake Caroline always requests. So yes, it's been on my channel before, but we're just going to do the whole celebration in one video. And so the cake is part of it. So let's get busy making this cake. The first thing, which this step may or may not be necessary, but I do follow the recipe just because they say so. But I'm not sure this step is necessarily needed. I think you could just melt everything together and be fine and not have to put it on the stove and whatnot. But we're going to do it as they say because that's the way I've always done it. I don't always follow a recipe. Many of you know that, but I do. And this is not necessarily this is just a step. And so I put 2 sticks of butter in a saucepan, 1 cup of water, and we're going to add in 4 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And I'm fairly generous with the cocoa. I don't level off the, I'll shake it off, but I don't level off the spoon. So we are going to get this and put it on the stove. And I probably won't bring it to a boil. I'll do more of a melting, just heating it up and melting everything. So there we go. All right, I'm going to get this on the stove. I'll meet you back right here. All right, so in this bowl, I already have 2 cups of all-purpose flour and 2 cups of sugar, and I'm just going to whisk that together and set it aside. What I'm saying is about the steps in this is it's not your normal cake step recipe. How you beat together your butter and your sugar and then you add in your eggs, and it's done a little differently. And I think you could put it together just the traditional way. In fact, I think I have done it a time or two that way. Okay, so in this, hey, and if by chance you were not using salted butter, add you a little pinch of salt to your sugar and flour. But I always use salted butter. I don't add it. So to this bowl, I'm going to crack 2 eggs. And since they're going in first, I'm not going to worry so much about doing it in a separate container, because there's nothing it can mess up. All I can have to do is dip any shells out should they go in. Wipe my fingers. All right, and so to this, we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon. Let me make sure. A 1/2 teaspoon of soda. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And I'm down at the bottom of the barrel. So oh my goodness. Oh, that's chocolate. Never mind. That's okay. I thought, what is that in there? It was chocolate off the tablespoon. And so we're going to do the eggs, the soda, and a 1/2 cup of sour cream. I'm just making sure my measurements are right. This is very much like a Texas sheet cake. Now we call this, in our family, we call it turtle brownies. Now, and we'll talk about that a little bit in just a minute. I'm going to take that same whisk I used in the flour and the sugar, and I'm going to beat this up. All right, I'm going to also go over here and check the butter mixture, and I'll be right back. All right, so now we're just going to put the two of these things together. Now, I like for this to cool a little bit, and I did not mean for it to get as hot as it did. The recipe says to bring it to a boil, but I don't necessarily like to do that. But we want to mix all of this together, so I'm just going to pour a little bit at a time, because I don't want to scramble those eggs in there. And I'm hoping I don't get anything on my shirt. I'm going to have to wash my pot holder. That's for sure. All right, let's just go ahead and finish going in with this. Here we go. I hope you can see why I said I'm not sure all these steps are necessary. Now, my oven is preheating to 400. This cake is baked in a long sheet pan. I'll tell you the size that it calls for. I'm not sure that's the size I use, but I'll tell you the size it calls for. An 8 by 12 by 1, 18, an 18 by 12 by 1. There we go. All right, this is all mixed up beautifully. And I think I just put my spatula in the, oh no, it's in the bowl. I can use that. All right, let me wipe this up. I'll get my cake pan over here and we will pour it up. All right, I have before you my very well loved and seasoned pan. Somebody said, why is your pan so dirty? And I'm like, it's not dirty. It is well seasoned. And oh my goodness, Anyway, I have sprayed it. It's really good. And we're going in here with all this cake mix. Cake batter, not cake mix, but you know. Now my pan is a little well loved and what's the word I'm looking for? It's where it gets a little off kilter, lopsided. Okay, it's going in a 400-degree oven for about 20 minutes. And then once it cools, we'll make an icing for it and it will be absolutely amazing. Hang tight, I'm going to come back and talk to you about why we call it turtles, why that you may think that's the wrong thing to call it, but why we continue to call it that. And I'll be back in just a second. Well, let's hopefully make some icing for this cake. And let me explain what I'm talking about. I carried my electric mixer that you plug in, not my stand mixer, but my electric hand mixer to the church when we made the meal, and I just haven't brought it home yet. And so I got out my battery operated one that my sweet friend and subscriber sent me, and I absolutely love it. There's only one problem. I haven't charged it. So I'm hoping we get icing made. If not, I'm going to have to pour all this into a stand mixer and mess up more stuff. But it's okay. It is okay. So let me tell you what I've got in here. I've got a pound of powdered sugar. Hey, if you buy it in the big container or whatever, a pound is about 4 cups. So you can measure out 4 cups, which is actually what I did. I'm going to wipe my fingers. I didn't want to lose any of that butter. So let me get this butter off my fingers and quit being butterfingers. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I sound like Bryant, don't I? All right. Into this, we're going to add, I'm just going to dump everything in here. We're going to add 1/3 cup of milk. And it says plus a tablespoon. So we'll just give a splash. That was probably a teaspoon, but that's okay. We're going in here with a tablespoon of vanilla. Here we go. And 1/4 cup of cocoa. Now, I usually top this icing with pecans, toasted pecans, or just pecans, either one. But I'm not today. And I'll tell you why when I get this mixed up. So let's hope this works. So far, so good. I believe we're going to be golden. And how I clean off my mixer is I just slowly start turning it down and lifting it up out of the icing at the same time. And it'll just sling off the excess. There we go. So I don't have any drippage coming off. All right. I'm just going ahead and sticking this right in the dishwasher because I'm getting it ready to turn on. So there is our icing. Now let me ice the cake, and while I do that, I'll tell you why I'm not going to put pecans on it. All right, so I'm just going to spread this out the best I can across this delicious cake. And it's a fairly thin layer of icing because this is much more about the kind of the cake than it is the icing. But why I'm not putting pecans on it? Well, first of all, Jamie can eat it with the nuts on it, but I don't think he's a fan of pecans. But we're also having Daniel and his mom eat with us for Caroline's birthday and for Bryant's Father's Day. So we are, I don't know how they feel about nuts and pecans. So I'm just going to leave it off. And what I'm going to do instead is I got to buy ice cream because this is how we serve this. We cut a slice of this and heat it up maybe if you want to. You don't have to. We'll heat it up and put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on it and then some chocolate syrup. And you have a turtle brownie ice cream sundae, and that's how my family likes to eat this. Now, hang on a second. I'm going to tell you why we call it turtles, why people fuss at me for calling it turtles, but why we continue to do so, and why it's not wrong. We call this chocolate turtle brownies. This is what we call this. It's very much like a Texas sheet cake. In fact, it's probably exact recipe to Texas sheet cake. But because of the way we serve it and the way we eat it, we call it brownies. And then whenever I get the hankering. Well, hang on, I'll explain it in just a second. I just want to be sure I got it completely covered. All right, so we are going to cover this up with tin foil. I'll lick that spatula in a minute. So let's talk about why I call it turtles. Okay, or let me just go ahead and start by saying why some people fuss at me for calling it turtles. It's because I don't have caramel on it. Well, sometimes if we're feeling froggy or whatever, we just squirt it with caramel and hello, there's your turtles. And of course we put the pecans on it. So that's why we call it turtles. But obviously this is a recipe that can vary in certain ways. And but I'm not going to call it different things if I leave stuff off, or if I leave the nuts off this time because I don't know if Daniel or his mom may be allergic or they don't like pecans. I'm not putting it on here, but I'm not going to. Caroline's not going to say, "Well, Mama, I want that." You know, she's still going to call it the same thing. And so sometimes we put caramel on it and the pecans, and there is your turtle brownie. Sometimes we don't feel like caramel, or I don't have caramel, so we just don't put the caramel on. But we still call it the same thing just because that's what every you know, I have a meatloaf recipe and I fix it in a loaf pan, but the other day at church I put it in a big pan. Well, I didn't change the name of it. I still called it meatloaf, but it's just a different way of baking it. So you see what I'm saying? So if you're offended that I call it turtles and I don't put caramel on it, then by all means, squirt some caramel on it. By all means. And if you're offended today because I don't have pecans or caramel on it, put both on it. Because, you know, we do it different ways, different times, depending on what's going on, what I have in the pantry. And I'm just not going to change the name of it. So anyway, this is what our family calls chocolate turtle brownies. And we eat it much like a brownie, although it's very cake-like. We, like I said, we do a brownie sundae. That's how we fix it. So the cake is made for Caroline's birthday and for Bryant's Father's Day celebration. So we will set that here. I need to run to the store. I have found that Barkeeper's Friend, the liquid kind, cleans, it polishes, and I only polish the bottom, or we only polish the bottom, or see that's what my water does. It's like I said sediment, but it's not a sediment in my water. It's like minerals that can leave a residue. And so anyway, I've got to go get some Barkeeper's Friend this morning real fast. I forgot to get it the other day. So let's go get that. And we'll just pick up where we leave off and get this low country boil on. It'll be happening tomorrow, but it's all going to be in one video. So I'll see you back tomorrow. All right, everybody, we've got water just getting hot in here in this big pot.
Don't get the water. There's water.
Yeah, don't you get over there.
There's water burning up.
Caroline is over there washing potatoes. Bryant's getting the cutting board out to cut them with.
Yep.
What else we need to know? Anything right now?
Well, we got kielbasa sausage that we got to cut up.
Oh, yeah, we got to cut that up.
Corn on the cob we got to put in there. Got crab legs we're going to put in there. And that's about it.
All right, so we're going to... Shrimp. Oh, yeah, we're going to get busy. All right, we got birthday girl here. She's slicing up the kielbasas. And Bryant's been slicing the potatoes. And now he's going to start helping her, I think. Let's go over here and look in the pot. Just have the potatoes going right now. I'm sure he's going to add some salt in just a little bit.
So we're going to go outside probably with that.
We may take this outside and do it on like a turkey burner. So we'll see. Turkey fryer burner. Whatever they're called.
Isaac just dropped something in there and it burnt me. The water got me. Anyway, it's ready to go. Look right here. Look at them crab legs right there. That's Caroline's favorite. Shrimp right there. Look at them shrimpers right there. And potatoes. Corn on the cob. Kielbasa is, got to dig deep, get some kielbasa. It's down there somewhere. We got a lot of shrimp in here. We like shrimp. So let's take it in the house.
Levi, what you think, buddy?
Good.
Good. Judabug, what you think?
Good.
Good.
I'm
I know what Caroline thinks.
I'm ready to go get in there. I'm trying to help him.
She said a while ago this could make her dance.
Hey, guys.
Fixing drinks in here. There's my brother, Daniel.
I think more of our lives and we'll make it for them. Amen.
Amen. Good job.
Now, I can eat.
Now he's going to eat. Well, everybody, that Low Country Boil was amazing. We had a wonderful Father's Day and Caroline's birthday. Jamie and Bryant, Caroline and the boys had already celebrated with Jamie at their house, and his gift hadn't even arrived yet from Caroline. But Bryant had a wonderful time. He got some outfits. He got a pair of shoes. He got some like party mix stuff. And he just had a great Father's Day. Caroline had a wonderful birthday. Her Low Country Boil, that was her favorite thing. It was absolutely delicious. So thank you guys for celebrating with us and joining us. Now listen, stay tuned to tomorrow's video. We have a big adventure coming up with two blonde-headed little boys. If you're new here, the two little blonde-headed boys, if you saw them earlier in the video, are my grandchildren, Judah and Levi. And we're taking them somewhere super fun today, and which will be tomorrow's video. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Remember, if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything. Bye, y'all.